Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
You trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
From coast to coast, representing all the dog pound, this is the Brownstown USA podcast, brought to you by the three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. I'm Eric, and over there is LA.
What's going on, Browns fans? Excited to be back and to talk Browns with everyone out there. First of all, just want to give a humongous shout out and thank you to all of you guys, all the fans out there that have continued to listen to our voices and figure that, hey, it's something nice about these guys that I want to continue to listen to these guys every single week. And I do not take that for granted. So thank you very much. And as Eric said, this is Brownstown USA, powered by the three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Make sure you hop over to the threepointconversion.com and check out all the latest work that we are doing over there, all the sports and articles. And, man, we got a great team over there doing their thing, headed over there by Mr. Controversy. And follow them on all the social media as well, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. But also follow us. We are on Twitter at BrownsTownUSA and on Facebook in the Facebook group, Brownstown USA. Just search for us and you'll be there. Browns all day, as they say, every day. So, Eric, as we do for our fans out there, we step away from the sports world and step away from Browns for a second and let them know just how boring we are in real life. So, what have you been up to this week?
This week, two things. One, obviously, was the holiday of Halloween, so trying not to get diabetes from all the candy that we did not give away because all the trick-or-treaters are too old to go trick-or-treating. So, lots of candy, and then was at a costume party over the weekend, and let's just say short shorts and 40-degree weather do not mix.
Ooh, so what were you for Halloween?
So, you've heard of the movie Dodgeball, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I actually bought an Average Joe shirt and actually went as one of the guys from the Average Joe's team.
There's nothing wrong with being an Average Joe, Eric, because even they win. You know? Even they get a chance to win.
I mean, it's not as cool as the Purple Cobra stuff, but whatever. I mean, I'm just not dressing up as one of those white rapper guys from the movie. Well, nobody needs to see my... I look like I ate Eminem's ass in it.
Got you. Well, that's what I was actually going to ask you, Eric. I mean, you know, it's Halloween and all that. I'm not really big on holidays altogether, and this year was no different for Halloween. But I did hear an interesting conversation, and just wanted to ask you, man, what is your top Halloween candy?
That's hard. You know what? I got to go with the oldie but the goodie. Give me the Kit Kats.
All right, he's a Kit Kat man.
Yeah.
Well, no, break it down. Break it down, the science of the Kit Kat, okay?
Well, the thing is, if it doesn't crunch, then you're doing something wrong. I mean, I just remember not being a fan when I was younger, and now it's like, oh, this is so good. Put this, you know what? Just melt it and then put it into my bloodstream. I don't give a damn anymore. I mean... It was the one candy that I remember. There was this one house back when I used to go to my grandmother's for trick-or-treating where that you either got one of three things from it. You either got a Kit Kat, an apple, and then the most bizarre thing. There was this one lady, you either got those two, or she would give you a Bic pen.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, trick or treat, you want this Bic pen that you can write with?
Hey, look, Pins are. I mean, I've seen people get into full-out fights over pins, so those are definitely things. Hey, look, man. Look. Everybody has that pen that they like, and it's like, don't steal my pen, okay? It's my good pen, and I don't want you to touch it. So I get it. If the pens were great, if they weren't them little cheap branded ones that broke apart or, the ink splattered everywhere, after a couple uses, then cool. Shout out to, shout out to Eric's lady, man, ink pen lady, okay? Shout out to ink pen ladies and all the ink pen ladies in the United States that are giving out ink pens, all right? You are truly the backbone of this great country. So, Eric, as far as what I've been doing all week, I've been doing stuff. No. I had the pretty big thing, with going to the emergency room with the girl. And thankfully things came out great there. So I won't go into details out of respected HIPAA laws and stuff like that. But everything's going good there. And after that, I was telling you about my adventure to Arby's, and they brought back their fried turkey sandwich line. And when I say, oh my goodness, this is so good, it's really good. So if you get a chance, Arby's is not sponsoring us as of yet, but I would say go check out Arby's fried turkey line of sandwiches. Anywho, Eric, we have a big show to dive into. I'm going to just break down real quick what we're going to be discussing, and then after that, we'll take a quick break. So we are going to be talking about what's trending with the Cleveland Browns, all those latest and hot greatest takes out there that you've heard about the team. We're going to talk about the injuries because we've had somebody return. So I'm very excited about that. We also have our doggy bag segment that's made famous by my man Eric over there and sponsored by RealtorProMedia.com. Then we will talk about the preview of this juggernaut team that we are facing this week. In case you haven't heard, it's the Chiefs. Players to watch for, and our fan of the week. So, Eric, I'm excited. I hope you are excited. Actually, I can see it all over your face right now. Eric is very excited. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into what's trending. This is Brownstown, USA, powered by the three-point conversion.
Big Ben up in the pocket, throws, it's tipped, and it's picked as they get it at the 45-yard line. Derek Kindred comes up with it. A tip ball up in the air, and Kindred was there on the old tip drill. Here comes Roethlisberger, back to pass. Late pressure, he lobs it. Ridley caught it, and then the ball came out. Loose ball at the 20, it's picked up by the Browns. Denzel Ward's got it out at the 28-yard line. That's a fumble, and the Browns are going to get the ball back after an 8-yard gain. Derek Kindred knocked the ball out of there from Ridley, and it's scooped up by Denzel Ward.
And we are back. I am LA, and across from me is this gorgeous guy, Eric. Woohoo! And this is Brownstown, USA. Now, we just got done talking about what happened during our week. I gave a shout out to Arby's and fried turkey. And now we're going to talk about what's trending with the Browns. So, of course, we know that a lot of stuff went down this week. As my man Stanley said over in his article when he was breaking down the NFL power rankings, he is calling Baker Mayfield / Gotti because he got the boss and the underboss fired in 1 week. Something that we have we haven't seen in a long time in the NFL, especially midseason. So, in light of Baker Mayfield Gotti, Eric, Baker commented and was, in his presser talking about his connection with Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Now, we've seen them battle it out in college, including an epic game. I think the game was like a basketball score, right? It was like 66 to something crazy.
Yeah.
That they threw out there.
Between two Texas boys.
Oh. Right. So, Baker made some comments, and he said that he thought that Patrick Mahomes should have been the number 1 overall pick in his draft class. Now, for the people that don't know off the top of their head, the number 1 overall pick was Browns' Myles Garrett.
Another Texas boy.
So, a lot of people are making a big howdy-do about it. So, of course, I had to ask my man Eric. Eric, how do you feel about Baker's comments on this whole Patrick Mahomes should have been the number 1 overall draft pick?
Well, for one thing, I do think there's too many Texas boys in this conversation. There needs to be less Texas things in this conversation. Anyways, what I have to say, though, is I honestly think there's 2 things that come with this. One, I think this is just more of a sign of respect right here. I mean, look, as much as we love the trash-talking element of the NFL, as much as we like the backhand compliments that do come from it, like, he's good, but if I was in that class, it'd be better. No, as much as we may love that type of stuff, it is a show of respect because people forget Mahomes was the one that took the job from Baker at Texas Tech, if I remember correctly. What was it? They were in the same. What I think I'm wrong there. Actually, sorry, I take that back.
Yeah, I was like,
well, you got to remember Baker Mayfield was at another college before Oklahoma, so
absolutely, yeah.
I thought that him and Mahomes were at the same college at first, but anyways, what happened? And so you have that. The other thing, I think this is also a secret type of tool to get Miles' motor going. I mean, you hear your quarterback saying that, Miles seems like the type of guy that is going to be like, he said that, time to prove him wrong.
Well, you know what, and that I see your point there, but I mean, to me, is that really needed? Because we just seen the head coach and offensive coordinator get fired for apparently behind the scenes, stabbing each other in the back crap and all this other stuff. Do we really need any more drama from this team? I mean, it's one thing to respect Patrick Mahomes, but then it's another thing to give a compliment to another teammate. And it kind of falls into the same line as how I feel when, say, for instance, when Todd Haley, first faced Pittsburgh and then he was over on the sidelines, even, giving out hugs and all this other stuff. Like, I mean, I want to see the competition. And to me, I would rather give my own teammate a compliment first than to sit up there and pass off to somebody else that's not on my team. And then it end up being a backhanded, diss to somebody on my squad, man. I mean, you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, it makes sense in that regard, but at the same time, I don't think there was any malice meant by it. I mean, it's not like, so I don't see, like, Baker saying, yeah, he should have been the number 1 pick, but I don't see it being like, yeah, Myles Garrett doesn't deserve to be the pick at all, blah, 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 blah. So, whatever the case is, I don't have as much of a problem with it. I think some people are taking it way too far to an extreme, though, at the same time.
Of course we do. It's the Browns. That's what we do, okay?
Now, someone was saying that Baker was saying it just to get out of Cleveland.
Look, I've seen some crazy stuff about that. I'm not going to go any further into it because it actually came from a person that I actually respect, so I'm not going to even do it. Anywho, look, talking about compliments, Greg Williams had his first presser this week. Before we get into and break down what he actually said quickly, how does your overall feeling, like how did you feel about Greg Williams up there on that podium? Just overall.
Overall, probably the best way to put it, why the hell was this guy not the head coach for first? I'm sorry, but this guy actually was speaking very confidently. It seemed like he knew what he was talking about. And probably the best thing, he was challenging the media instead of the media challenging him, as opposed to, well, that's your opinion on the matter. The best way to put it, Greg Williams, in this regard, sounded like a presidential figure, while Hugh Jackson sounded like Bob Ross. You can't have a Bob Ross running a team. You need that commander-in-chief. You need that leader. Not Bob Ross. I'm just going to paint a little cloud right here because I messed up.
Look, man, at first, yes, Greg Williams kind of stood out to me as like, yeah, he's a leader of men. I get it. He's very confident. He has a swag to him. He's not going to be shaken at all by anybody else's stuff. But then also, too, those thoughts started to creep in my mind, Eric, where I'm like, is this guy too confident? Is he too cocky? I mean, it's a borderline between confidence and just being a butthole. And we've heard butthole being used towards Greg Williams before. And I can see why people would say that. I mean, just some of the stuff that he said. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and ask you about this. So Greg Williams was asked about Freddie Kitchens. In case anybody missed it, Freddie Kitchens was promoted to offensive coordinator. He was he was operating under for our running. He was running backs coach. And Greg Williams said off the top, he said, that wasn't me. That was basically the powers that be. It just happened. Wasn't me. Now, I seen an article come out saying that Greg Williams already came out and washed his hands of the Freddie Kitchens hire. Meaning they took the spin that if Freddie Kitchens looks stupid, if he messes up, if he botches it, Greg Williams already came out and said, hey, look, that wasn't my guy that I appointed. It is what it is. Real quickly, man, what do you feel about that?
Honestly, it's starting to make me question some of the stuff with Dorsey. Not to the point of getting fired, but one of the things I am starting to notice is he's not letting his coaches hire their own guys. I mean, we already saw what happened with Hugh and Haley, and that was a disaster. It was like mixing water and oil. So the fact that another coach came out and said, yeah, this wasn't my guy, so we'll just see what happens. It tells me one of two things. Either one, they're not expecting Haley to come back next year to be the head coach, or two, there's just something that that Dorsey is just trying to play matchmaker, and we're not sure it's going to work.
I got you, man. And you know what? And that's a good point. And it does make me think that Greg Williams is just going to be the placeholder. I would not be surprised if at the end of the season, Dorsey and the front office powers that be just go ahead and wipe the slate clean and bring in Dorsey's guy as head coach. And then I think when Dorsey brings in his guy, he will let his guy hire the people that he wants. I think the Freddie Kitchens move was just Freddie Kitchens has been there in the offense already. The language is not going to change up that much. They don't want to install a brand new offense this late in the season. So, hey, go ahead and go in there, hold places. And you do good, cool, we consider you. You do bad, you're already fired anyway. And, best of luck to you on another organization. And then you can take that in as part of your resume. Hey, I was offensive coordinator for this long with the Browns. So I really see it happening that way. That was another thing. Actually, you know what? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk to you about something that I seen from the Dorsey Haslam presser, because I don't think we got a chance to cover that in our emergency pod, did we?
Not really, no.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, we will be right back.
What up, sports fans? It's your boy Damian Adams from The Real Deal with Damian Adams. Now, you can catch my show weekly here on the 3-Point Conversion station. I'm always bringing that real sports talk for the real sports fan. But if you're hearing my voice right now, that means you're living life correctly, because you're listening to Brownstown with my man LA and Eric. Make sure you stay tuned. Tell your friends about the show, because you know they're bringing that real for you, that knowledge for you here on Brownstown.
And we are back. Dogs are barking because this is the Cleveland Browns, Brownstown. This is what we do. So, look, we talked about some of the comments from Greg Williams earlier in his presser. Talked about some of Baker's comments in his presser. But one of the bigger pressers that we didn't get a chance to comment on was the John Dorsey, Jimmy Haslam presser. And in this one, Eric, I believe that this one was the most important to me. And reason being is because based off of this presser, I think that we're going to see some changes in Cleveland, the changes that we wanted to see. And let me tell you why. Jimmy Haslam was talking in the presser, sounding weird like how he always does. And there was a point in time where John Dorsey, after Jimmy was getting hassled by the media, John Dorsey stepped in and basically shielded him. Took over for questions, answered it to the best of his ability, did really good. To me, John Dorsey looks like he knows what he's doing as far as handling things. Now, doesn't mean it's going to guarantee success. I'm not saying that. But it looks like he knows what the heck he wants to do. And so from that being said, Eric, this tells me that he told Jimmy, look, you brought me in. Trust me, I got this. So that means that Jimmy will not be all over hiring coaches and all that other stuff like he's done in the past. I think he's going to give Dorsey the keys. He's going to let Dorsey do his thing. So with that being said, that means that Dorsey will hire his guy's head coach and let his head coach hire the assistants, because Dorsey has said, and even Greg Williams has said, look, I bring in a guy to do his job. I get out of his way. We've heard that a couple of times in these different pressers. Eric, that excites me.
As it should. I mean, look, one of the biggest issues that Cleveland's had, and I think you probably did notice this, it even started before Haslam bought the team. They would always get the head coach first and not the general manager first. You can't operate like that because you always have this one leftover guy that may have been here for another year, and the general manager's thinking, okay, he's gone at the end of the year. I mean, a great example of that would be what happened when Ray Farmer was here. The first coach he hired, I think, was Chudzinski, and then immediately replaced him the next year with Mike Pettin. But if I remember correctly, I don't know if Farmer was the one that technically hired Chudzinski. I thought there was another general manager that already hired him, and then it didn't work out, so they fired that one, hired Farmer. Farmer had the infamous honor of bringing in Hugh Jackson, if I remember, as well as ending Pettin's time, so on and so forth. It's been this very weird domino effect. The fact of the matter is, and the way that you build a team is you get the executive or the general manager first, and then you get your coach. Because then you can at least bring in the guy that you want and have him work with in the style you want. Not, you have to hold him over. So that's what I'm thinking that we're going to see now, especially since Dorsey isn't stupid. And he has probably the greatest brain trust in the NFL right now. So
Ever assemble. I mean, it's like the Justice League up there.
Exactly. It's like the Justice League, the X-Men, and the Avengers all rolled into one. Christ. Take my money for this movie! But anyways, that's what we need. Not this weird brain trust on how we're going to save money and get players that are semi-effective. We need the effective.
Well, look, we've been told all kinds of stuff. Even when the media was pressing Jimmy Haslam about the whole hiring the coach thing, and he said then, he was like, oh, well, we're not going to do it the conventional way. We're going to be, different. We're just trying to win. And everybody's just like, dude, stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room, all right? Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel on some of this stuff. Like, there's a reason why some of these things work out the way they work out. And with him being that cocky about things, that's why we continue to live in media and at mediocre levels, like with this team, because the guy is just thinking that he's just that much smarter than everybody. So I think with him actually going out and getting that old school GM that we needed, that's been around, that's came up through the circuits, that knows what it is, John Dorsey is the kind of guy that will stand up to a Jimmy Haslam. Sashi was not that guy. Sashi, Haslam come down and say something to Sashi. Sashi's like, cool, I'll do it. I'll make it happen. I see Dorsey saying, like, Haslam, like, yo, you gonna let me do my job? Or, I mean, because either way, you're gonna pay me. You know what I mean? Like, you can fire me right now, and then I'll just go to the beach and sip on some pina coladas, or you can let me do my job and get out the way. And I think because of the track record of Jimmy, the losing seasons, just the overall reputation of the Haslams, I think that this is the time that Haslam is like, you know what? I'm going to get out the way. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this the right way this time.
I think there's also one moment that you can really pinpoint when the change started to happen in Jimmy. It was at one point last year when D started getting involved. I mean, people don't remember this, but Jimmy was acting like a guy that was the smartest guy on the team, which clearly, listening to a homeless guy about taking Johnny Manziel, yeah, no. But in any case, when D started getting involved, notice how different the team started to act. Even last year, there were a lot of close games, and the team actually looked like it was a team at one point. But it wasn't because of that, because remember the jumbled up mess that was the year before with the one win that didn't play like a team that often. This was honestly, I believe, when we saw D just be like, back the hell up, let the GM do his job. It did show the ineffectiveness of Sashi, but it also lended itself to what became John Dorsey and the Brain Trust.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. Whew, a lot of pressers, a lot of new faces in different places. And this is Brownstown USA, man. We're going to be right back. When we come back, we're going to talk about injuries. And then we're going to jump into the doggy bag. The doggy bag, man. I love this segment, man. It comes from you guys, the fans. And that's what we're all about here at Brownstown USA and the 3-point conversion. So we will be right back.
Hey, this is Gary Payton. Y'all listen to 3-point conversion radio. It's the bomb.
And we are back, and I have an Arby's sandwich on my mind right now. I can't shake it, Eric.
I am so sorry to hear that.
After that. Well, look, it's better than Mr. Hero, right? I mean, like, you hate Mr. Hero, too.
Well, the reason I hate Mr. Hero right now is whoever does the commercials is getting fired. You saw that.
Look, I don't even care about Mr. Hero commercials. They don't need to advertise to me. They don't need a pitch. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to Mr. Hero instead. All right, I'm going to Mr. Hero after this. I'm gonna just go ahead.
Hero.
Yes, I'm gonna go get me my my Roman burger, waffle fries, and cheese sauce, and I'll be good to go.
Go get your free just go get your free taco from Taco Bell.
No.
Get your free Doritos Locos taco.
No.
Oh, we just gave away a bunch of free sponsorship today.
We did, man. We did. We got we got to get an agent, man, and start doing some stuff. Anywho, so before the break, we were talking about the pressers that was all over this week. Greg Williams, Baker Mayfield, Jimmy Haslam. I mean, everybody had a presser this week. You get a presser. Eric, you're going to get a presser one day. I guarantee it.
We're on to Kansas City. We're on to the Chiefs.
Look, man, injuries, dude. We got some great news this week.
We do?
Yes, we do. So, we see a familiar face come back. Mr. Hollywood Higgins is back practicing, baby. Hollywood. So he's back practicing, which is a great sign because we need all the help that we can get when it comes to the wide receivers. Unfortunately, or actually, no, another good piece of news is guess who else is back? E.J. Gaines is back.
Yay.
So he's out of Wait, what? He's out of concussion protocol, man. He goes back in the secondary. It goes and everybody shifts back, man.
That's good to hear. I mean,
don't play
honestly, I was hoping that you had more news about Mitchell, but okay.
Yes, Terrence Mitchell, though he's not back, but he did get his cast off, so that is a good sign. He is committed to coming back this season, even though a lot of people are doubtful. He wants to come back this season, so we may be able to get him back. He got his cast off. That is a good sign. Other people, let's see. Schobert did not practice. Randall did not practice. And Treader did not practice. We know that Treader is suffering from that, that ankle injury, that high ankle sprain. Mm-hmm. And frankly, it looks like all of our offensive line is just injured right now by the way they've been playing. But, I digress on that. Eric, out of the names that I've said, who is it that you really just? I mean, besides Mitchell, of course, but who else are you missing out there on the field, man?
Well, honestly, Mitchell was obviously my go-to with this one, but I'm excited to see Higgins back because the thing is, and people don't really talk about it that much, that was Baker's number one guy. Look, if you look at it, he was the guy that was targeted the most. Not Callaway, even though I'm pretty sure he dropped the ball. Not Ratley. Maybe Njoku, but he always looked and found a way to connect with Higgins. That's why the passing game's kind of, for lack of a better word, sucked the past couple weeks. His target's been gone.
Yeah. And the person that I'm missing, man, is Joe Schobert, man. I mean, leading tackler. He's our leader out there. Like I really miss Joe, man. Kind of chokes me up just kind of thinking about it, man. Joe, I never knew. They say you don't know what you lost until it's gone. And that's kind of how I feel about Joe. I think we didn't appreciate old Joe out there, man, and then now he's gone, and it just hurts, Eric. It hurts. And I'm a man, and I can speak about emotions manly like, and that's all I'm saying, man. I'm hurt right now. I miss Joe. So that's the injury breakdown. I'm sure we will get an update pretty soon, a little bit later on, and we'll tweet that out from BrownsTownUSA and put it in the Facebook group about the the full participants this today in practice. Now, moving on, Eric, I need you to take that hand over there, that greasy hand that you have from eating that Mr. Heroes Roman burger, and dig into that bag, man. Dig into that bag and see what we got for these doggy bag questions.
Just a quick reminder, who's the sponsor?
RealtorProMedia.com. Make sure you hop over there. All my real estate agents, people that are trying to sell houses, whatever you do, they help you and put your home into a nice visualization so it is eye-catching out there to the public, and it helps you sell your houses over 50% faster. So make sure you hop over to RealtorProMedia.com.
All right, well, here we go. We got the doggy bag. Hopefully, this is not my bag with the laundry, and okay, nobody needs to see that. Actually, the first question we got comes from a good buddy of ours, a fellow podcaster, UK Paul Brown.
Man, I love that guy. Very good guy.
His podcast is so much fun. I mean, come on, who else is going to interview Pumpkinhead? It's Pumpkinhead, the best Browns fan in the world. Anyways.
Yeah, he's had Pumpkinhead on there. I believe he's had Jeremy and Akron. A lot of the podcasts that we support. And again, like I said, we can have a Browns podcast and still support other people. Like, I mean, it's not it's not cutthroat, at least not to us, until we, encounter that. I don't care. So yeah, Orange podcast, Brown Scout, UK, Paul Brown. Thank you. Appreciate you, bro.
So he wants to know, if the draft was tomorrow, who would you take with the 6th pick? I know that you're not paying attention to draft yet, so
it's just it's way too early, man. I read an article yesterday actually, and they were talking about us selecting a corner.
I think that's Greedy Williams.
I believe that's who it was. It's just way too early, man, because first of all, like, you have people, they can get injured, as we've seen in like bowl games and all of that. We have people that their stock could go down. I mean, and then we have a 5-month-long period where we're dissecting all of these guys and, watching them in the combines and talking about them for hours and hours on end. I'm not looking forward to draft coverage. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot and I get it, but it's just too long, man. It's too long.
All right. Well, there's only 2 names I'm looking at the moment, to be honest.
Okay, who you got?
The first one is Ed Oliver from Houston, who, for some reason, is dropping. Defensive tackle, supposed to be one of the best defensive interior linemen in a while. So, considering we need another interior lineman, yeah. The other is A.J. Brown wide receiver from Ole Miss. Mainly because we need another outside wide receiver. No offense to Callaway, he's good. I think you'd be better off as a second slot guy along with Landry. We need that number 1/number 2 along with Higgins.
Okay, so that's interesting to me because for you to go wide receiver, I'm assuming we're going to be anywhere between the maybe 4 to 6 area this year. We've seen what has happened to wide receivers getting taken that high. We've seen also that there's been a huge learning curve for wide receivers. So most of the time, there hasn't been in a long time a wide receiver to just come out their first year and kill it in a long time.
AJ Green, no.
In a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm asking, would you still want to reach for a wide receiver that high? Because, like I said, we have a stable of young wide receivers, and they're in their first year. So, I mean, that second year, they could take off. And then we've seen with Hollywood, he's starting to find his stride. Mm-hmm. I think we have these guys on the roster. I would not mind getting a wide receiver a little bit later, of course. But first overall draft pick, man, that's kind of a reach to me.
Well, depends what you get. I mean, in some cases, you either get like an Odell Beckham Jr., A.J. Green, Calvin Johnson, or you get a Braylon Edwards. I mean, it depends, one, how high you are, which, assuming that we are there, there's that. And two, it depends what else there is. So far, people are saying it's a boring draft class this year. So,
absolutely. And that's the point. You're not going to find the Odell Beckham. You're not. I mean, think about it, Eric. Which was stupid by Dallas, but they just dealt for Amari Cooper. He was a high wide receiver choice. Didn't really work out in Oakland, and they dealt a first-round draft pick for him, which was absolutely asinine. But then we seen other wide receivers like Demaryius Thomas go for like he went for like a 4th or a 3rd. And then who was the other wide receiver?
Tate.
Who?
Tate?
Yeah, Golden Tate, right.
Well, hold on. To be fair, though, it's the Dallas Cowboys. They're not smart.
No. In no way am I holding any punches for Dallas Cowboys at all. It was stupid. And I actually tweeted and laughed about it. Like, wow, you just seen Demaryius Thomas go for that. You seen Golden Tate go for that, and you dealt a first-round draft pick. Now, hey, look, they said that John Gruden was over there in Oakland collecting first-round draft picks like Thanos, like Infinity Stones. So, look, power to Raiders, he got it done, okay? But, anywho, I can't see a wide receiver that high. That's all I'm saying.
No, like, the thing is, I would rather Ed Oliver if he's that good. But, yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Okay? So, next question we got. Why does this one keep coming up nowadays? Is Le'Veon Bell coming to Cleveland next year?
No! No. Golly, no, he's not. No.
I don't want him. Look, no offense. He may be a good running back. Dude's obviously shown his cards. He's being smart about this, but he's also acting kind of diva-ish at the same time right now. We don't need that on the team. Besides that, Nick Chubb actually looks pretty good. I don't care about the diva part stuff. I mean, I get it. You get to a certain level in the NFL, you start seeing stuff. Then also too, I've never challenged the player when it came to him wanting to get paid what he feels he's worth, especially with the game being so brutal. Anything could happen. He could go out there like we've seen with Earl Thomas. I'm not challenging him there. But no, he's not going to be a Brown. Not now, not ever. Thank freaking God. Okay, how much free beer do we get if the Browns win the Super Bowl next year? Not enough.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really scared of the day that the Browns win the Super Bowl. I think a lot of crazy things are going to happen that day. And I know I'm going to be a part of those festivities. So
I might have to bust in for that.
I don't know, man. You won't be able to tell us anything. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, let's. How long until we get to see Austin Corbett?
That is a great question. I'm really not sure. something has happened with Austin Corbett where he has not shown the coaching staff that's still here. He hasn't showed them what he's needed to get out there. Now look, Corbett is a first round draft pick. I mean, not a first round draft pick, but he's a high draft pick. It's his first year. He's a rookie, and whatever it is, man, he's just not showing it. And plus, he's more slated, and we talked about it. He's more slated as a guard. So therefore, our problem on the O-line, as I tagged Eric earlier today, is not at the guard position. It's at the tackles. And he's shown that he has not been able to play tackle, or he would have been out there instead of Desmond Harrison. So he may be waiting for a while unless an injury pops up.
I agree to that extent. I thought I also heard a rumor that he might be they might be grooming him to take over the center spot, which could be interesting given who's pretty much got his own condo on the injury reports right now.
True.
I mean, we'll have to wait.
Eric, real quick, let's take a break. Let's pay the bills because the light is flashing. We're gonna pay the bills, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna finish up on your doggy bag questions. I promise. So, this is Brownstown USA, powered by the 3-point conversion. We'll be right back.
Here's Mayfield back, looking, settles, up in the pocket, spins again, looking, still looking, firing. He's got a man open, it's caught. Landry came back to him, and he made the catch at the 25-yard line and went out of bounds. That's the way you do it. That's the scramble drill.
And we are back. We are right smack dab in the middle of your doggy bag questions. We were just talking about the Austin Corbett. Eric was going with his thoughts on that. Eric, go ahead and finish up for me.
Really, I kind of did. I mean, look, the thing is, I think he's just being groomed for center just because he's an interior type of guy. Joe Thomas said it best. He's not built for the outside.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right. How come nothing happened before the deadline?
Well, I think both of us agreed on this when we talked about it, and we didn't think that the Browns was going to do that much movement anyway. And if they were going to do movement, we thought they would be sellers, not buyers. The thing is this: they just had a tremendous turnover with head coach, offensive coordinators, we all know, and they felt like who was here in the locker room was enough as far as culture-wise. We keep hearing about culture, and that's very, very big. Now, I know that everybody's screaming, let's get some wide receivers in here. But let's be honest. Apparently, they are comfortable with who they have, or they are waiting for other people. Because remember, with all the NFL trades and the flurry that we've seen that day, people had to get released. And people will continue to get released. That's just the way that the NFL works. So I figure that they will go after somebody that may be on the streets if they feel like they still need to bring somebody in. But right now, it seems like they're comfortable with what they got.
Not to mention, most of the players that did get traded, if I recall, are not like long-term keepers. They're rentals. And
yeah, like 1 to 2 year rentals. Yep.
Exactly. And the thing is, considering how important draft stock is, which here's the thing: if it was Sashi Brown picking, then I would feel more comfortable making those trades. John Dorsey has a great record with later round draft picks. I mean, Callaway, from what we've seen, looks like he could have a future. Jannard Avery. Hell, if you even want to talk about Tyreek Hill, the thing is, when you have that type of resume, you go with it. You don't trade it away just because, oh, look at this former Pro Bowler that hasn't done much in the past 3 years. He was a Pro Bowler once. Let's get him.
And that's a very good point. Again, you're talking about trading off draft assets for cats. Say, for instance, if we were to win after Demaryius Thomas. Demaryius Thomas was due like $14 million or something like that, crazy enough. Mm-hmm. And you're trading off a draft asset for a guy who is in decline, even though I love Demaryius Thomas. He's in decline. You're asking him to pick up your playbook and learn all of this and then be able to get out there on the field within 1 to 2 weeks and produce for you in a season that we really don't know where we're going to end up at because we're in a tough part of our schedule. I agree that we should have stayed pat. And then also, too, again, talking about salary, we're talking about cats that's already making a lot of money compared to trusting the scouting of John Dorsey and his team, which they haven't really let us down that much, and getting this guy on a rookie deal. Think about it. That's why our cap space is so good right now, is because we have a rookie quarterback. We have Myles Garrett that's still on a rookie deal. Denzel Ward that's going to be on a rookie deal. We have all our key positions in rookie deals right now. So I expect for them to be very active in the offseason, but to be able to do a trade midseason, you got to be right there thinking like, hey, we're about to go to the Super Bowl like how the Rams did and some of these other teams to upgrade their roster because they're going for the gusto. We're not at that point yet.
We could be in like 2 or 3 years, but not right now.
Exactly.
All right, and one more.
All right.
Will the team have a nastier, more dog-like attitude without a – okay, I'm not going to read that part of it. Without a weaker head coach?
So say that one more time.
Will the team have a nastier, more dog-like attitude without a weaker head coach?
I think the identity of the team will – I wouldn't say that they didn't have a nastier dog attitude. I think that the attitude of the team comes from the key positions on the field, and that is Baker Mayfield and that is Myles Garrett. So I think that the mentality will somewhat be the same. I understand what they're trying to say, but I mean, we'll see, man. I really think, and as we get into our preview in a minute, I think that you'll probably see a little bit of a burst of energy because that's what normally happens with teams when they do some kind of turnover like this. But I think we'll kind of see who we saw, and that was a lot of fight from this Browns team. Remember, we've been in a lot of games, man. We've lost 4 games by 11 points or less, and we've seen our defense get out there and create turnovers and stuff. It was really just on the offense. So we'll see, man. We'll see what Freddie Kitchens brings to the table.
Absolutely. And that's actually going to do it for the doggy bag this week because the rest of the questions we have are pretty much what we answered on Tuesday, like who's going to be the next head coach and all that. So,
gotcha.
Thank you to everybody that did participate. We love you all. Keep sending it and keep up with those realtors and all them people.
All right, so that was the doggy bag segment. Like I said, sponsored by RealtorProMedia.com. Make sure you hop over there for all your housing and realtor needs. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to fly through the preview of the game against the Chiefs, players to watch for, what Browns must do to win, so on and so forth. This is the Brownstown USA podcast, powered by the 3-Point Conversion. We'll be right back. And we are back. I am LA, and across from me is Eric. And Eric, dude, I know you love the Roman burger from Mr. Hero, man, but you gotta put that down, man. We're doing a podcast right now. Anywho,
someone at work was asking if I wanted free comedy show tickets for Sunday. What? Hey. Jason Mewes, man, come on. Love Clerks.
Hey, jump on it, man. Jump on it. So, Eric, we face a juggernaut.
The Cowboys? Oh, wait, you said juggernaut. Never mind.
I'm not doing this with you. Not doing this. Nope. He's not going to rope me into that, guys. Anywho, we're facing the Kansas City Chiefs, 7-1 record. This is a pretty tough squad that we're facing this Sunday. So I must ask you, Eric, who are you going to be – actually, you know what? I'll ask you this first. What must the Browns do to win?
Coincide. Look, the thing is, when you hire a new coach, it can do one of two things. Either one, it can unite the team together and give it an extra spark to be able to go out and play well. Or it can do the opposite. It shows who really won, who's really there, and who doesn't want to play the same way because they were too big of fans of Hugh Jackson. So something's going to come out of it. If they can stay together, I think they could keep it closer than people think. I mean, this is still a good defense, and truthfully, I don't think Mahomes has played this tough of a defense. And don't say the Patriots, because the Patriots are just the Patriots.
No, that's a very good point, Eric. What I'm looking at here is that the Chiefs they don't have the best defense out there. Their defense does give up yards, and so the thing that we must do to win is to get out there and start fast, like how we've always said with the offense, and take advantage of that. The Chiefs have looked vulnerable in some of their games that they play, and to be honest, I'm still surprised that they're 7-1, but they're 7-1 because of Patrick Mahomes and how well they do offensively. So honestly, this kind of plays into our strengths a little bit. You know, we have a good defense that can stop and create turnovers. And then, like I said, the Chiefs have a defense that bends. So if we can get Baker cooking, wow, that's actually a pretty good pun. Baker cooking with Kitchens in there, then we can get some things done out there, man. And like you said, we'll talk about it in our score predictions, but I really feel like the Browns, they have more of a chance, like you said, than what most people are giving them. So with that being said, Eric, what player are you watching out for on this Brown squad?
The player I'm most looking forward to in this one is actually EJ Gaines. Look, if he's coming back. Let's be realistic here. He's going to be thrust into his old spot. They're not going to let Carey do that because Carey didn't look bad. Gaines has just looked better when he's had the opportunity. So I have a feeling they're going to thrust him in, given that he's got to go against Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They have one other receiver, too, but I can't remember what his name is. Kansas City has a plethora of weapons. They're going to ask him to do a lot. So he's going to have to split time with Ward, and if they can lock down those receivers, they might actually have a chance on defense.
Yeah, but as you said before, they have so many weapons. And, I mean, even just being able to have Kareem Hunt back there, and that hasn't been our strength as far as being able to stop really good running backs. We've seen Connor run all over us. We've seen whoever lined back up there in the backfield be able to run back all over us, man. So it's going to be a tough one for the defense. It really will be. But again, you know, I think we do have a chance. The player that I'm going to be looking out for is going to be Nick Chubb.
Chubb!
I think that Nick Chubb showed us something in the first couple quarters when we were playing against the Steelers. He can get off. He's a home run hitter. He's a very good running back. And then also, too, if we can get the run going and then also get Duke more involved, too, which I really feel that – I know we've been saying that from week to week, but I think that this week is really that week that we do get him involved. And so if we can get them two going, then this means that our time of possession will be higher and we can keep that defense off the field, because that really has been the problem with us in a lot of games, is that we've been relying on the defense way too much. And they've been absolutely exhausted by the end game. So, you know, if we have the defense out there for way too long again, Kansas City is just going to carve us up, and it's going to be a rout. They're just going to run all over us. But if we can get them rested and stuff so that when they come back out there, we're cool. Keep Mahomes on the sideline. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Plus, the other thing that people need to realize is that right now, Mahomes looks good. I mean, while he's looked good, he's also had the weapons to look good. If you take away those weapons and actually apply pressure to him, things could get interesting very quickly, because if I recall, Mahomes also isn't the most athletic guy.
Yeah, he's like in the middle of the road. So
he's almost like Baker, except taller almost.
Right. I mean, he is an athlete. I mean, the guy can chuck the ball. I mean, huge arm and stuff, but you're not – I mean, he will run on you, but again, he's not like – you're like, dang, man, you know, we got to keep an eye on this guy because he's going to bust out, you know, over 100 or 200 yards on the ground on you. It's not like a Cam Newton. So
No,
you're
that's
right.
coming later this year.
Yeah, I know. Don't remind me. Anywho, so with that being said, score prediction time. Score prediction. Eric, who do you What's the score? What do you see the outcome?
You know, this is, and we said last week that the last really winnable game for right now would be the Steelers. I'm sticking with that. I hate to say it, but I think Kansas City beats Cleveland, and not just beats them. I think that they absolutely rout them, unfortunately. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Give me a Browns 17, Chiefs 42. Look, I'm sorry, but if Mahomes is the real deal and he smokes Cleveland.
Hey, no need to explain it, man. I get it. No need to explain it. No need to explain your score predictions at all. For me, I'm going to say that the Kansas City Chiefs win this. I'm going to say it's a little bit closer of a score, though. I think it's going to be like 28-23. And maybe the 23 comes from because maybe we get a touchdown or something in garbage time. But I see the Chiefs handling business as well. They are the cream of the crop when it comes to the AFC. Not saying they're the best team in the AFC, but they are the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. Yes, I like cream stuff. But yeah, that's how I see it going, man. But of course, our heart is always with the Browns, but we are going to, lay out the truth and tell you how it is. So, Eric, before we wrap up the show today, we have to give a shout out to our fan of the week. So
we have to.
We do. That we do. So, BrownsTownUSA fan of the week. And if you want to know how you can become the fan of the week and get a shout out, just go into BrownsTownUSA on Facebook and our Facebook group and comment, share. Do what you do. Just don't be a butthole about it. So, our fan of the week this week is Norman Lewis Baldwin Jr. Congratulations, sir.
Yay!
Keep commenting, keep contributing to the group. We appreciate you and appreciate all the other fans out there. It was a close race, but had to give the nod to Norman Lewis Baldwin Jr.
Yay!
So again, we appreciate you. You've been listening to Brownstown USA, powered by the 3-Point Conversion. Again, the 3-Point Conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Make sure you follow it on all social media outlets. Follow us on social media, Brownstown USA. Facebook and Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at LA_Broadest, and my man Eric over there at Stashball. And Eric, you have a new personality, a new name, don't you?
Yes and no. I actually got so many complaints about it on Facebook, it's not even funny. Like, I went to go use my radio name, but I had at least 3 people just like, why did you change your name? Because I wanted to have it as that. Change it back.
Look, I thought you got married, man. Honestly, I just thought that's what it was.
Yeah, no, I'm not in that boat yet. I'm not in that boat yet.
All right.
We'll have to wait and see, though.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, join us next week when we talk about more goodies, including how the Browns did, provided we don't have a breaking news update. And also, I'll tell you how you can do something. What? I don't know. We'll figure that out when it comes. So, until then, remember, if we don't win, and if we win, awesome. If we lose, there's always tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Next time you go to Mr. Hero.
Hey, so if you're still listening,
just have a little bit of bonus content for you. Feel free to listen, because something happened that really has just irked me a little bit. And it has everything to do with what Hugh Jackson said in an interview with Mary Kay Cabot. So, in the interview, Hugh Jackson went out and said that he felt the team could have won if he was given a better roster. Well, honestly, no duh. I mean, come on. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. I mean, the only person that really couldn't figure that out was Andy Reid back with that Eagles super team, but that's beside the point. He went on to also say that he wanted Patrick Mahomes, he wanted Deshaun Watson, he wanted Mitchell Trubisky, he wanted Carson Wentz, and instead he got Cody Kessler and DeShone Kizer. So then, why were you sticking up for them the way that you did? I mean, come on, how many people were actually buying this whole idea of, you guys gotta trust me on Cody Kessler? Yeah, we bought it at the time because we didn't want to believe it otherwise. Or how many times did we have to listen to DeShone Kizer's got a huge future when we knew that chances are he would be here, but probably wasn't going to have a major future. And, of course, the thing that really ticked me off, and I mean absolutely really ticked me off, that he was saying that he was forced to get a offensive coordinator and that they should have done it his way. Well, I'm sorry, but your way also got us one win in 2 years. So you clearly don't know what you're talking about. You sound like a senile old man, but it's okay, Hugh. You've been given your walking papers. You can get the hell out of here. Well, I suppose that this makes tomorrow's First Take interview a lot more interesting. So hopefully there's nothing of sort to come out with that. But until then, that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for sticking around.
I'm the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire. To burn my kingdom, you must choose fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire.
Now we rock dog parties and come correct. All cuts are on time and rhymes connect. Got the right to vote and we'll elect. And other rappers can't stand us, but give us respect.